Musawa stated that the establishment of 2 projects are top on the list of projects of the ministry and they are intended to create jobs for Nigerians. She stated that this can only be achieved when the Senate passes the budget. In a bid to curb the menace of unregistered mining engineers, the federal government says it will process proposals for solid minerals investment from members of the Council of Nigerian Mining Engineers and Geoscientists, also called COMEC, in recognition of their critical role in the sector. Sharon Ajay reports that the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, announced the new measure to the inductees of the council, where he announced that his ministry would only attend to technical proposals for licensing and related procedures under the mining law with the seal of COMEC.
In a landmark endorsement, the minister declared that all reports coming to the ministry must bear the GOMEC stamp, while also affirming that only GOMEC certified professionals will be recognized by the federal government, noting that these are critical elements needed in the reactivation efforts of the solid minerals sector.
As from today, no mining engineer or geoscientist will be recognized by the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development without being registered by COMEC. We need to sanitize the sector, and I've said this at various fora. We not only sanitize in terms of the physicals, in terms of security of the operating environment, putting in place proper funding mechanisms. And so without COMEC registering you as a practitioner, your reports will not be recognized by the Ministry of Solid Minerals, which means by this government, which means by Nigeria.
The minister charged inductees to avail themselves of constant knowledge to keep up with new innovations, stressing that having been highly trained, the criticalities of their training will be put to bear on the success of President Bola Tinubu's vision of enabling the mining sector to play a crucial role in contributing significantly to the gross domestic product, GDP, of Nigeria. Speaking further, Alake admonished the inductees that GOMEC relies on them to shore up its reputation, whilst the ministry depends on their input to manifest the metrics of marketing the sector to global investors.
Your role in the value chain cannot be underemphasized or overemphasized either. Because you are professional engineers, you are professional geoscientists, these are very critical elements needed in the activation efforts of the solid mineral sector. So, if we do not get it right from your level, Nigeria can't get it right at the tertiary level of exploration and exploitation.
The minister, however, lauded the institution and its Director General, Professor Okpafunsho, for training qualified mining engineers and geoscientists, emphasizing that the contribution of GOMEC to the technical expertise of mining sector cannot be overemphasized. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The Supreme Court has set aside a judgment by the lower courts that dismissed the terrorism charges against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. The Apex Court held that the Court of Appeal was wrong in its ruling that declared that the trial court could not try him because the prosecution violated his rights. In the judgment prepared by Justice Garba Mohammed, the court condemned the invasion of Kanu's residence, declaring it irresponsible. The court held that there's no law in the country stopping a trial based on the violation of the rights of a suspect. In the meantime, the Nigerian army says it has arrested the commander of the indigenous people of Biafra's armed affiliate, the Eastern Security Network, Uchechukwu Akpa, in Ago local government area of Enugu State. The military added that 3 other suspected members of IPOB and ESN, who are Udoka, Ude Uchechukwu Ulanta, and Ezenaya Udeigwere were also arrested. According to the military, the 4 suspects were apprehended after their hideout located at Christ the King Catholic Church in Amete, Ngbowo of Agu local government area. Adding that Akpa sustained a gunshot wound while attempting to flee, with 4 live cartridges also recovered from the suspects. A former governor of Anambra State in the defunct Third Republic, Chukwuemeka Ezeife, is dead. Ezeife died at the Federal Medical Center in Abuja. According to a statement issued on Friday and signed by Rob Ezeife on behalf of the family, the elder statesman died around 6 p.m. yesterday. In a related development, President Bola Tinubu has sympathized with the Ezeife family, the people and the government of Anambra State on the passing of former governor of the state, Chief Chukwuemeka Ezeife. Ezeife, who was governor of Anambra State from 1992 to 1993, died yesterday at the Federal Medical Center, Abuja, according to a statement by the family. In a press release by the spokesperson for the president, Ajuri Ngelale, on Thursday, Tinubu extolled the towering influence of the former federal permanent secretary in Nigeria's political landscape, as well as his leadership credentials, describing his passing as a painful loss. The president recalled the contributions the late Ezeife made in the shaping of public discourse and governance in Nigeria, as well as in laying the foundation for the advancement of his state. The federal government of Nigeria says stemming the causes of gender-based violence requires citizens' participation at all levels. This was as it revealed ongoing plans with states to provide mobile courts for the swift administration of justice in GBV cases nationwide. Minister of Women Affairs Uju Kennedy Ohanenye disclosed this at the launch of the Civil Society Organization and Community Advancement and Humanitarian Empowerment Initiative in Abuja. She further emphasized that her call to every citizen to take up the battle against violence is due to the increase in cases of gender-based violence in our society. And the National Population Commission has launched the 2023/2024 Nigerian Demographic Health Survey and would officially begin the reconstruction of the Akwa Ibom State MPC office building for the exercise. The chairman, National Population Commission, Nasir Kwara, while performing the ceremonies, assured all that the MPC would deliver a credible, reliable and acceptable population census in the country. Further adding that the Commission would leave no stone unturned in providing the necessary facilities for a comfortable work environment for its personnel. And Rivers State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Zaccheaus Andago, has resigned. His resignation was communicated in a letter dated November 14, 2023, and addressed to Governor Siminalayi Fubara. He noted that his exit from office was based on personal principles and not connected to the political crisis currently rocking the state. Global Television will keep tracking developments in Rivers State for your viewing pleasure. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has announced the pre-qualification approval for the agency's Yaba laboratory in Lagos State as a central drug control laboratory. The Director General of NAFDAC, Mojisola Adeyeye, disclosed this at a news conference in Abuja on Thursday. She stated that the World Health Organization had recently approved the CDCL, adding that the approval of the laboratory for the agency was a significant milestone in its dedication to ensuring the safety and quality of pharmaceutical products. The new commissioner, Adegoke Fayoade, has assured the provision of watertight security after the Christmas and New Year celebrations in the state. Fayoade gave the assurance on Thursday while interacting with newsmen after taking over as a new CP in Lagos Command. Fayoade took over the baton of leadership from Wahid Ayinlara, who was the acting CP, stating that the command was going to work in synergy with other security agencies to secure all areas of Lagos through the water, air, and land. When the news cycle returns, federal government says power sector cash flow grows to 900 billion naira. The news continues of this and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. This is Global Television News Cycle. On the foreign scene, the court of the West African Bloc, ECOWAS, ordered on Friday the release of Niger's deposed President Mohamed Bazoum immediately from detention, where he has been held since a July 26 coup. The court called for his immediate and unconditional release and ordered that Bazoum be reinstated. Bazoum had been held in his presidential residence with his wife and their son since he was overthrown in mid-September. The deposed president appealed to the ECOWAS Court of Justice to obtain his release and the restoration of constitutional order in the country. Niger is currently suspended from the Economic Community of West African States. Other member states have in the past ignored rulings from the ECOWAS Court. Meanwhile, Niger's ruling military has agreed to terms and conditions of a transition back to civilian rule and will present the plan to a regional bloc, the chief diplomat from mediator Togo announced on Thursday. Speaking on Niger's national television, Togo Foreign Minister Robert Doucet said he had reached an agreement on the content and timing of the transition with Niger's junta-appointed Prime Minister Ali Mahaman Zain and Foreign Minister Bakary Sangare. The sanctions and suspension of international finance and aid have left Niger, already one of the world's poorest countries, economically hanging by a thread. South Sudan's head of the UN mission, Nicholas Hayson, says the country is in no position to hold free, fair or secure elections slated for December 2024. Hayson, who said this while briefing the UN Security Council, noted there is still time to catch up with the conditions. He outlined key conditions required by April 2024 for moving ahead, according to the agreed timeline. These include a new permanent constitutional framework, voter registration details, an election security plan, well-trained, equipped, and unified security forces, and a mechanism for resolving disputes over results. A critical mass of these prerequisites is necessary for creating the conditions for the conduct of elections that are not only free and fair, but also deemed credible and acceptable to South Sudanese citizens. And on the business desk, the Nigerian Labour Congress warned the federal government against heeding the advice of the World Bank to increase the pump price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, to 750 naira per litre. The NLC's head of information, Benson Ukpa, said any further increase in the price of petrol would lead to anarchy in the country. He therefore called on the government to reject the proposal of the World Bank that petrol should sell at about 750 naira per litre as against the current rate of between 620 naira and 650 naira per litre in most locations across the country. This came as oil marketers explained that the cost of PMS should be around 1,000 naira per litre had it been that the government not subsidizing the product. The federal government has announced that the liquidity in Nigeria's power increased from 282 billion naira in 2015 to 900 billion naira currently, adding that its financial burden in the industry had been reduced by about 373 billion naira. It disclosed this through the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission at the ministerial retreat on the Integrated National Electricity Policy and Strategic Implementation Policy. In a presentation at the event, the chairman, NERC, Sanusi Garba, stated that they have also created a mechanism for enforcing payment discipline in the industry. And that's it on Global TV News Cycle. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching.